how would you like to know how to flatten your belly a little bit? Now, I know that we're not going to get back to that 25-year-old flat belly that we used to have if you did have it. I know I never really did, but especially if you're over 50 or over 60 like I am, we might not be able to get back to that exactly, but still, if you'd like to flatten your belly a little bit, there are ways to do that. I started thinking about that maybe 4 or 5 years ago when I just noticed that I was kind of getting saggy in the middle and kind of puffy, and it was getting a little bit hard to find clothes that fit me right. Things just weren't made the same shape that I was made, and it was kind of annoying for me just to feel it when I moved. I had all that bulk in the middle parts there. So I set myself to figure out some ways that I could flatten that belly down. Now, if you're just thinking, well, all I gotta do is lose a little weight and just target that belly fat and get rid of it by dieting or exercising or something, really trying to target weight loss doesn't work. You can look it up. It's a myth, because when you either diet or exercise to reduce fat on your body, it does it all over your body. You don't really target it in just one place. Now, if you do need to lose weight for health reasons, go right ahead. That's a good step to take. But I've got some tips for you that might be a lot quicker and a lot more practical. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing I'm going to share with you that really made a huge difference for me has to do with posture. I'm going to show you a couple tips here. So, for posture, unfortunately, good posture is not normal posture for most people. Normal posture, well, let me show you. What most people do is they stand with this curve in their back and kind of slumped with their belly sticking out and shoulders forward. That's kind of normal, and people go around like that, just kind of relaxed. But I'm going to show you a couple of tricks to be able to change that. And who knows, this might be all that you need to correct the problem. So in order to get a good habit, all you have to do, put one hand in front and one hand in back. And what we're going to do is move the hands. Front hand is going to go up and the back hand is going to go down like this. See the difference? What you're doing is you're rocking the pelvis and you're tilting it toward the back, which makes this part go in and this part tucks under. And just look at the difference here. If I have bad posture like this, good posture like this, makes a whole lot of difference. Now I've got a trick for you that'll help you to be able to find that position whenever you need to, and it's simply this. What you do is you put your hands all the way up in the air and then go up on your toes. And when you do that, your body is in the perfect position. You can keep your balance and then just go down and keep the same position here, and there you have it. Just that easy. Now I've got another tip that makes it even easier, that while you're walking, what you can do is your hip bones that are right here in front, you just say, I'm going to walk with my hips first, and you let your hips lead you. And so you just take your steps and your hips go first. What I do is I think I want my hips to get there first before the rest of me. And when you walk, if you do that, then it just tucks everything in and it gets everything where it's supposed to be. Now it can also make a difference if you're wearing the wrong kind of shoes. If you're wearing heels that are a little bit too high, it can make it really hard for you not to have that curve in your back. So make sure that your heels aren't too high, that your clothes fit you properly so you're not uncomfortable with them and kind of changing your posture to make them work. If you do that, then that's going to make a huge difference in having a flatter belly. Now, along with your posture, something else that can really help you out to be able to flatten that belly is to make sure that you stay hydrated. Now, you might think that drinking a lot of water, that would give me kind of a bigger belly, But really what happens is that if you're not hydrated, your body will retain water to protect you from being dehydrated. And so if you're retaining water, that's going to be all over. It'll be in your arms, legs, but in your belly too. So make sure that you drink plenty of water. That could be several glasses a day, and depending on your diet, because okay, if you don't really like to drink water that much, like I know I have to kind of make myself drink water. I try to keep a glass of water around all the time. I know it's a jar, but we drink from jars here. And I try to remember to drink the water. If you don't like to drink water that much, you can eat foods that have a lot of water in them, like watermelon, different fruits, berries, vegetables like cucumbers and lettuce and things. Just make sure you get your water, stay hydrated, because that will keep you from being quite so puffy there. Now, another thing that might be causing you to be kind of puffy in your middle and not flat is bloating. And bloating can be caused by so many different things. You might be sensitive to certain foods. Now, there's some foods that kind of would bloat anybody and give them some gas, like drinking a lot of carbonated beverages. That's going to make you bloated, or eating a lot of things like beans and, well, you know. But there are other foods that certain people are more sensitive to than others, like dairy. And I remember when my daughter found out that she was sensitive to dairy, and she just thought that she was always just kind of big in the middle, and she found out that it was just bloating from the dairy, and it made a huge difference when she cut down on that. Or it could be fructose, or it could be gluten, different things that people are sensitive to. I know that when I eat a lot of snacks that have coatings on them like nachos and Cheetos and all that stuff, that it just makes me feel bloated. I don't like to eat that stuff too much anyway. But you can figure out what it is that you might be sensitive to that is causing bloating. Sometimes it's just eating too fast or eating too much at one time, and that can also cause bloating. Chewing gum, that even can cause bloating. So find out what it is that affects you and reduce that, cut it out, and it might really help you to get a flatter tummy. Now, another thing, and something that I still do now, is core exercise. I have certain exercises, it's a little routine that I do to keep my core muscles in good shape, because I noticed that helped to just kind of pull things up and tighten things up. Now, core exercise is not just some crunches or some sit-ups, because your core muscles are all the way around, front and back and the sides. And the benefit of doing some core exercise is much more than just tightening up those muscles and making things more firm. Also, core exercise will help you to have better balance and feel better too. Core exercise, really important, and I'm not going to go into detail about that one because I do have a video that I made about that I'm going to show you at the end. So I think some of these tips are really going to be able to make a difference for you. I'd love to know if you've already tried some of them or how they're working for you. So let me know in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that now. That way we can stay in touch. Let's keep this conversation going. So thank you so much for watching and making it to the end of this video. And I'll see you in the next one.